When you think of the 2017 game, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, it's likely that you don't really think much of it. You probably just see it as that one rage bait game that got a lot of streamers riled up a couple of years back. And going into the game, I was thinking the exact same thing. Bennett describes himself in the game's description and trailer that he made this game specifically to hurt a specific type of person. So I decided to try it out just to see if I could actually pull it off. And after playing it, I developed a genuine appreciation for it. Which I can't stress enough is the weirdest thing, given that everyone and their mothers that have played this game or streamed it have seemed to absolutely loathe it. Mainly Markiplier. So why did I find it so special? Well, let's find out now, shall we? The first thing that should be mentioned is the monologue that is present throughout the entire game, done by Bennett Foddy himself, hence the name Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. This consists of monologues as the game progresses that talk about Foddy making the game, about his thoughts on topics, and about how he is the player represented in the game. He also makes quick quips every time you fall from a significant height, and sometimes he even plays songs that generally center around the theme of struggle and hardship. The insight that Bennett provides during this game's monologues can't be ignored. It opens with how he came to make the game, and we learn about his process of how the game ended up being so unforgiving and difficult. Throughout the game, he makes one thing clear. He has an honest contempt towards what people might want of him. He always alludes to how he could have made something that was easier in both the game itself and the trailer for it, but he ultimately didn't because he felt like we should be able to be given that challenge. He also connects games that are quick and easy to the disposable nature of the internet. This part of the monologue is probably my favorite part of the entire game. He goes into detail about how the internet is nothing but a mass landfill of ideas that are soon to be garbage and become lost in the past. I think this section can relate to meme culture in a way. It's fresh for about a couple of seconds, until it's dead and thrown away like garbage, or we wonder why we ever found anything funny at all. All this is delivered while the most chill, relaxing music plays in the background, a complete contrast to how you're probably feeling while playing the game. As a jazz lover, I for one appreciate such a sentiment. As I said before, the monologues are contributed by When You Fall Down, where Foddy gives you inspirational quotes about falling and failing and such. Such quotes come from the likes of Abraham Lincoln, William Shakespeare, and Ice-T. While they are supposed to make you feel like you should persevere through this challenge to get up the mountain, they just add to the frustration of each big fall. It feels like a troll in a way. A lot of this game's frustration could also be chalked down to just Bennett Foddy's vocal performance itself. It is incredibly condescending, and it goes through different moods throughout the game. Eventually, it gets to a point of what I assume is jealousy, I think. This is mainly when he's talking about putting the snake, where he's just sort of like, you'll feel bad if you win. I'm telling you, if it's not jealousy, I have no idea what the hell it is. And then afterwards, his voice becomes incredibly soft and gentle. It isn't the fact that we have physically learned to hike, but how we are able to do so mentally. And that is why Ben is so proud of us at the very end of it. The environments of the game are also delicately designed to express the game's themes and the monologues. For example, when Bennett says that ideas become immutable like rock, it likely coincides with the section near the beginning with the rocks in them, which for first-time players is likely where they will be stuck at up to that point. When he talks about the internet landfill, it's in a section that's an absolute hodgepodge of different items. When Bennett talks about how we shouldn't look at challenges like oranges, we are of course graced with Orange Hell, easily one of the most difficult sections in the entire game. And I can only imagine that a lot of gamers gave up on this entire game just for this section alone. And last but not least is the Snowy Mountain, which obviously represents reaching the summit of your grand old hike. And of course I'd be remiss not to mention the church with the jump scare bats. No reason for there to be a church with jump scare bats, it's just there to be there. And I love that. It all comes together to create a wonderfully designed, challenging but fair map that is an absolute joy to replay and master. That's kind of the joy of the game for me. It's replayability. I've yet to mention the actual controls of the game itself, which is surprising since that is by far the most notorious aspect of this game. Yes, it does take a lot of time to get used to, but at its core, it still feels fair. There's a weight to every movement, a sensitivity setting for every player to get it just right. When you get yourself in a groove and you understand the momentum of everything, that's when the game can turn into a breeze. Once many people have beaten this game, I doubt that they went back for a second go around given how tumultuous the experience was. However, I had a different reaction. I wanted to try it again, not just to see how much faster I could beat it, but for a fancy Steam achievement for beating the game twice. My first playthrough, it took me about 4 hours to beat the whole game, so when I tried it the second time that night, that 4-minute time turned to 35 minutes. So I did it again, 30 minutes, and again, 20, 15, 10, and as of now, my best time is around 6.5 minutes, which coincidentally is about the exact same runtime as this video right here. The monologue, the music, the map design, the gameplay. It's gotten me to come back again and again, and I have now beaten this game a total of 25 times, and I'm halfway to get the complete Golden Cauldron. While most gamers may see this as a rage quit game and nothing else, I see a genuine message that someone wanted to share. One of the internet, the disposable nature of gamers, and what it means to overcome a challenge. And for that, I believe that this is a game worth remembering. I dedicate this video to you, Bennett. I give it to you with all my love.